Hi, this is another in a series of SchoolLogic's PASSE readiness videos. This one covers demographics maintenance. In other words, how do we control how a student's tab card looks in SchoolLogic once we leave SIRS? Here's the answer. I'm in SIRS and I'm logged in as a district user, aka a board user. We're going to set up one of the tab cards one way so that each of our schools sees the same layout. I go to the setup menu, I pick SchoolLogic setup, and then I'm going to pick demographics maintenance. And you know what happens next. SchoolLogic sub launches. Okay, auto launches right out of SIRS. And here I am on the demographics maintenance page. Over here on the far right, this guy's called the group manager. He gives us choices to work within. I click to the left of students since I want to work with a student tab, and since personal one is what I'm going to work with, I'm going to click on that. Now, unlike SIRS, almost every page in SchoolLogic has to be unlocked before you work with it. So I come down here and I click on Edit. Now, each one of these boxes is a field that's going to end up on our Student 1 tab. And I have two ways that I can add information to these fields. The choices I get to pull from are over here in this big box on the left, and you see a bunch of choices are red and a bunch of choices are black. The black ones are the ones that are in play, the red ones are the ones that are not in play. It means that they're already on another tab. And even though the software allows you to put an item on more than one tab, we strongly recommend against it, because there's no guarantee that when you change the element on one page, it's going to get changed on both pages. So only go with the black elements unless you remove them from the other page first. Now, I'm going to decide that I want to put up here the student's last name. I have two ways to do that. The first way is I can just go ahead and type, and I'm going to type in the name of the field I want, and when I hit enter, the page kind of refreshes and I've got last name in there. Now, the other way to do that requires a little bit more manual dexterity, and that's by using the little dart out here. So I'm going to click on the dart and it gives me a small pick list, and I'm looking here for first name. This is kind of where the manual dexterity part comes in on it. I found first name, I clicked on it. Now if I were you, I would go ahead and I'd do a whole row and then I'd hit submit, because unlike SIRS, in SchoolLogic it's not good enough just to click the red X. In fact, if you just click the red X by itself in SchoolLogic, you'll lose your work. So just like you have to click edit to unlock the page in order to work with it, you have to click submit to send your changes up to the server. Of course, to edit the next column, I'd come in here, I'd click edit, I'd go ahead and I'd make my changes either by typing directly in there or by working on the dart, and then I'd click submit when I get to the end. Now, what's that giving me? What's that really look like? Well, let's go back here and let's say I want to see student demographics, and that'll make student demographics actually come up in my browser, which I'll move back in here to show you, and we'll go look at our friend Julie. Okay? Remember how I put last name, how I put first name? This is the result, and you control how it looks because you're editing the demographics maintenance page. Now, we have set out to make for you a template so that it will be easier for you to work back and forth between your data and the passive version of the data when you start checking things out and start synchronizing for real with PASSE. So if you go to our Success Knowledge Center, and I'm sure you know the address by now, success.srb-es.com. If you go there and you go to the PASSE part of the world, and I'm sure you've been in the PASSE part of the world on our Knowledge Center a lot, go ahead and click PASSE Implementation Roadmap, and this takes you through the whole process. I'm going to click on Installation, and I'm going to go to the very first choice, which is Step 1. And in Step 1, if I scroll down, it talks here about demographics. Click here to see the layout we highly recommend. Here's the layout we highly recommend. We recommend that you make your personal one page look like this. Now this guy down here on the bottom on the left, he's really primary address, but he got a little covered up when we happened to take the screenshot. Before we part ways, I want to call your attention to one more thing. If you scroll back to the top of this page and you study either of the two breadcrumb trails here, this article is part of a directory called PASSY Data Cleanup. You'll find other helpful articles in this directory as well. And so it goes. I hope I've helped.